Hey, it's me, Renee. I'm back. And since this is the first Wednesday of this year, we had a few days in this year, but we haven't had a Wednesday. And also, it's the um, first whole week of this year, January also. Well, obviously, I'm going to be doing anticipated debut offers books. That sounds a bit wrong. Okay, anticipated books from debut offers. That's better. Now, I've also been a bit good. Well, a bit good. Not that was that bad before. But the last two, and these were the last two. Well, at least the last one I did. I was a bit lazy, so I didn't. I just gave you the titles. I didn't give you the summary. I decided today to give you the summary as well. Though I suppose, like, when there's a debut book, giving people summaries is probably, in a way, a bit more prudent because, yeah. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that. Now I have, okay, yeah, I have taken pictures of summaries, but I've forgotten to take pictures of. Okay, so sometimes I've taken pictures of the summaries and the titles, and sometimes I haven't. So I kind of have to guess which book it is, but I kind of think I know. And as always, I'm just gonna start. The first one is a debut middle grade. It's called The Witch, the Sword, and the. You know what? I'm gonna go there and check. Huh. I have a plan. Just give me a little moment. Let da 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 da. It's called The Witch, the Sword, and the Cursed Knights. So the summary is 12-year-old Ellie can't help that she's a witch, which just has me grabbed from that moment on. The most hated member of society. Oh, determined to prove her worth and eschew her heritage. Ellie applies to a fairy godmother academy, a golden ticket to societal acceptance. But Ellie's dreams are squashed when she receives the dreaded draft letter to serve as a knight of King Arthur's legendary round table. She can get out of the draft, but only if she saves a lost case. Yeah, the summary is longer than this. I'm not gonna read the whole summary because it's 3 paragraphs. But yeah, that just sounds so cool. So yeah, excited for that. I'm also thinking I'm gonna be doing anticipated mill rate, so that actually might pop up in that list as well. And I have a book here in this list that I talked about before, so I'm gonna give more information about it. And yeah, then then we have Shahad Hadid and the Alchemist of Alexandria, which yeah, of course I'm gonna read that. My channel name. I love history. Yep. 12-year-old Sahad Hadid is an inspiring baker whose life is uprooted when he discovers he's descended from a long line of alchemists and sent to the mysterious Alexandria Academy. Only his arrival at the school awakens a nefarious force long lurking in the shadows. Dang. I'm gonna stop there, but yeah, that sounds very interesting. That's also a middle grade. Well, I suppose it doesn't have to be, but I'm pretty sure it is because 12-year-old protagonist, pretty sure it is. Sorry. And then we have a book that I talked about before. As I said, there's going to be some repeats. This one, well, and I didn't really give a specific summary before, so now you'll get it. It is One for All by Lily Lainoff, an unvoiced gender-bent retelling of the Three Musketeers, in which a girl with a chronic illness trains as a musketeer and uncovers secrets, sisterhood, and self-love. And yeah, I mean, retelling of the Three Musketeers. That's kind of all I know. That's all I know. That's kind of all I need. So yeah, excited for that one. And that one actually comes out in January, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, also yeah, I'm still gonna be a bit lazy, so I'm not gonna give you uh, the release dates, but you can look them up yourself. I mean, it's easy to Google it. So yeah, and then we have another one where I have not. Yes, okay. It says that. Okay, yeah. Sorry. So this one is sorry. Portrait of a Thief. It's described as Ocean's 11 meets The Farewell. Farewell? I've never heard of The Farewell. Anywho. A lush, lyrical heist novel inspired by a true story of Chinese art vanishing from Western museums, about diaspora, the colonization of art, and the complexity of the Chinese American identity. History is told by the conquerors. Across the Western world, museums display the spoils of war, of conquest, of colonialism, priceless pieces of art looted from other countries, kept even now. Will Chen plans to steal them back? And that sounds so cool. Okay, so whenever something is described as lyrical, I'm kind of like hesitant because lyrical to me kind of means um, pompous and weird and just kind of way, yeah, strange language, which I don't really normally jive with. But also, lyrical could also be sometimes you use lyrical as a way to describe um, good language, like language that's beautiful and original. So the use of the word lyrical here is not necessarily bad. And also the other stuff in the summary kind of makes it so interesting. So yeah, it's actually quite high on my TBR. It's a sorry, it's an adult book, and I think it's set in US, and yeah, that's what I'm gonna give you. Can't go into detail on all of them because that we were sitting here forever. Alright, next we have Accomplished by Amanda Quain. Talked about this one before as well. This one, I'm gonna give you the whole summary. Georgiana Darcy gets the Pride and Prejudice retelling she deserves in Accomplished, a sparkling contemporary YA featuring a healthy dose of marching band romance, endless banter, and Charles Bingley as a rapt frat boy. It is truth universally acknowledged that Georgiana Darcy would have been expelled after the incident with Wickham Foster last year, at least if you ask any of her Pemberley Academy classmates. She may have escaped expulsion because of her family name, but she didn't escape the disappointment her big brother fits, the scorn of the entire school, and or it turns out becomes influence. And yeah. Sorry. And then we have Freddy versus the Family Curse, another middle grade, by Tracy Badua. In this thrilling and hilarious middle grade adventure, a young Filipino American boy must team up with his ancestors to break the curse that's haunted his family for generations. And yeah, I love curses. So yeah, that sounds so cool. And then we have Hotel Magnifique, which the cover's beautiful. It's a YA novel I talked about before because of YA fantasy. Uh, and it's also another one that's kind of interesting because I'm just gonna tell you. For fans of Carwell and Night Circus, neither of which I really enjoy. So yeah, interesting. But okay, moving on. The decadent and darkly enchanting YA fantasy, set against the backdrop of a Belle Epoque inspired hotel, follows 17-year-old Yanni as she uncovers the deeply disturbing secrets of this legendary hotel. And I just saw on a Goodreads review that this hotel changes location every day, and that just sounds so cool. So yeah, so the summary sounds cool, but like I didn't like Night Circus that much, and Caravel actually never picked it up. It's not really for me. So it's interesting when a book has a summary that interests you, but the comparisons, like I don't know, but like often publishers can compare stuff to other stuff that's not really quite true, or yeah. So yeah, I still kind of want to give it a go. And then we have Dauntless by Elisa A. Bonin. This one I haven't really heard about before, kind of Googling. And yeah, a teen girl must bring together two broken worlds in order to save her nation in this lush, Filipino-inspired young adult fantasy novel from debut author. And yeah, Filipino and fantasy, it just sounds cool. I mean, I always really like when fantasy is kind of set outside Europe or outside the normal things, really. So yeah. And then we have one more, which is called As Seen on TV. This is actually um, adult romance. One of, well, actually the only one on this list. Probably are more adult romances coming out this year, but I just know, well, debut books coming out this year, but I just know this one. And yeah, emerging journalist Adina Geller is done with dating in New York City. If she's learned anything from made-for-TV romance movies, that she'll find love in a small town, the kind with harvest festivals, delightful but quirky characters, and scores of delectable single dudes. So when a big city real estate magnate targets tiny Pleasant Hollow for development, Addie knows she's found a perfect story. One that she'll earn her a position as a courted online magazine, so she can finally start adulting for real, and maybe even find her dream man in process. Only Pleasant Hollow isn't exactly pleasant. There's no charming bakery, no quaint seasonal festivals, and the residents are more ambivalent than welcoming. So yeah, it kind of sounds like a fun take on the whole Hallmark movies thingy, and kind of I suppose in a way the version of that video that was going around a few months ago with this comedian that goes to she goes to a small town and kind of hopes that, I mean, because Hallmark movies, she kind of thinks, okay, obviously she's gonna find a hot dude because she's a career woman from big city and she's focusing on her career and now she wants love. Of course, this doesn't happen. And yeah, I'll link that video down below. It's just so cool. And yeah, that's the debut books that I'm looking forward to this year. If you have any debut books that you want to recommend or talk about, please do. And I'll see you soon. Bye.